Hello world, it's John Pinto, your roving realtor, bon vivant video blogger, and I am here with Ted Stephanos from HomeGuard Natural Hazard Disclosures. Hi Ted, how are you?
Hi John, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fine and dandy, and Rafael Betances, who is in charge of HomeGuard termite roof home inspections. How are you, Rafael?
Doing great, guys. Thank you again for having us.
Excellent. So today, Ted, we're going to talk about radon. Now, every now and then, I will get buyers inquiring about radon, and I will admit that this is not top of mind with California realtors. We don't usually have issues with radon. Well, I don't remember radon being ever the lawsuit du jour, like asbestos or aluminum wiring or things of that nature. I get inquiries from clients from the East Coast that seem to have experience with radon in their basements. So please help me. How can I and our viewers become more informed about radon and its implications?
Right. Yeah, well, the first thing to understand that radon is everywhere. So even if we are in California, we still do have radon in our soils. Radon comes from the decay of uranium in the soil, and it's an odorless, colorless, tasteless gas and can cause lung cancer. It's the second leading cause of lung cancer after smoking in the United States. So it is an issue. Now, a couple key things you said there was basements. Now, most homes in California don't have basements. Many homes in the Midwest and East Coast, they do have basements where you have furnished basements where you might have a man cave or a game room or something like that, or even living quarters there. And what happens is that radon can come up through the soil, through the foundation, and get trapped in these areas that have improper ventilation and can accumulate. Now, especially in the Midwest and East Coast, where you don't have the windows open in the summer, in the winter time because of the weather, that's another reason that can exacerbate the problems as well. Now in California, many homes that have a crawl space with foundation vents, any radon that comes up to the soil is usually going to be dissipated in the environment because it's not going to make it into the house, or maybe at such low levels it's not an issue. Homes that have basements, like we do in California, have a few. And then also we have slab foundations, in many cases might have cracks. Radon can come up right through those cracks in the foundation and get into the home. Now the thing is that it's not that huge of an issue because it can be mitigated. And there are ways to test this. It doesn't cost that much, $10 to $15 test kit that you can get at a Home Depot or so forth. And usually leave that in the closet for a couple days, send it back to the lab, and you get your results back. And if you do have radon levels that are in the high range, then it may be a good idea to mitigate that by bringing in some kind of venting system to the house. So you're actually pumping in fresh air and pumping out the bad air. And so I'm not sure how much one of those systems would cost, maybe $1,000 or a couple $1,000 to have that done, depending on the scope of the project. But there are ways to mitigate against radon.
Suffice it to say that if you don't have a house with a basement, you probably don't have a radon problem? Would you say that's an accurate statement?
You could still have a home that has a slab foundation, though, and still have an issue.
Ah, okay. So it could be coming up through the slab.
Exactly, right into the home.
Less so if you have a concrete perimeter.
I'm sorry. So I would say chances are if you have a crawl space with foundation vents, you probably don't have an issue with radon.
Okay. Okay, very good. And while we're mentioning that, just make sure that those vents and the grates are in good shape so that way rodents can't get into your crawl space, another issue. Okay, so let's talk about then if you have a slab floor, because I've had a few houses with slab floors. So then a radon testing kit could be called for. Okay, very good. And as you mentioned, just secure them at Home Depot.
Right, right. And there are a few companies around that do mitigation, and they do very detailed radon testing as well, where they come to your house and put some testing kits in and take really accurate measurements as well.
Gotcha. Okay, so words to the wise. If you have a house with a basement that lacks ventilation, if you're on a slab and you keep your house closed up all the time, don't open up the windows and doors very often, it could be you could have a need to have radon tests. If you're up on a raised foundation with a concrete perimeter and plenty of air vents, radon is probably not an issue if you're in California. Would you say that's a good summary?
That's a perfect summary. Yep.
Excellent.
Now, there is some good data on the state website and radon. I forgot what department that is on the state of California, but they do keep statistics on zip codes and areas where you have high radon scores, meaning I think they rate it by picocuries per liter is an air measurement. So in the 3 to 4 area would be high, moderate to high. They do keep statistics on zip codes. And so you can kind of look at your zip code and see how many high tests there are in those areas, in your area.
Excellent advice. So Ted, if people want to be directed to your website in the proper tab, where should they go?
They can go to HomeGuard.com and click on our NHD tab. It shows a list of all the different disclosures we provide. There's about 25 to 30 different disclosures, plus we also do environmental and tax disclosure as well.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And Rafael, in case they're too lazy to proactively go find your website and they just want you to be their personal concierge and find the appropriate PDF to text them or email them, how do they get a hold of you?
Absolutely. You can either call me or email me. You can also text me if that's easier for you at 707-616-8762, or you can email me at Betances, which is my last name, at HomeGuard.com. That's RBETANCES at HomeGuard.com.
Thank you for tuning in on our video on radon. I know I learned a lot more than I knew before, and we'll check you out on the next video.